Hello peeps, this is, should I just put it on me? Wait, hoods up for this one, just so I can be like, I'm the Unabomber. Today we're going to be talking about John Green's An Abundance of Katherines. Interesting, this is like a life anecdote, but I was thinking about synchronicity of things. I think I started reading this one because my mom's name is Kathy, and we just, if you see the area behind me, we're in Tennessee now. So I went from recording in a restroom to Tennessee, which a little bit of a downgrade, but not too bad. I was in Texas, so Texas is still better. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up. Yeah, my mom's name is Kathy, so like, yeah, I'll read this as I'm moving out. It'll be like a fitting thing in our journey from Texas to Tennessee. And so I've been reading this one, and with John Green, I mean, I'm a big fan of The Fault in Our Stars. I really like the movie. I went and saw it back in cinemas in 2014 with somebody. I don't know if I would have sought it out, and probably wouldn't have. I got a cat. This is the crazy cat. This is a star cat. The Fault in Our Star cat. Great fucking pun I can make. This silly cat. Jumping off. But yeah, I do like it. I mean, just something about like being down and then you're like, man, I'm really depressed. Well, will cheer me up. Watching cancer kids in love die and not being able to live their lives through. Now, this may all sound like sarcasm, but in a way, it is like, whether it's like watching Dancer in the Dark by Lars von Trier, or you know, Requiem for a Dream, which is not quite as, I think it's like maybe the third most depressing. I don't know, Plague Dogs might even, Plague Dogs, it might be even more depressing than that. It's kind of like a black sheep, black whatever. Cat, you're so silly. Alright, but then, I think number one, I know I'm off on a tangent now, but I always thought, after thinking about like Dancer in the Dark, it was tied with one movie, but I have to give a leg up for most depressing movie. Probably Grave with the Fireflies. The reason why I say this is because they're both equally just hopeless, but Lars von Trier is just very artificial. I was like, yeah, it's depressing, but it feels artificial, whereas Grave with the Fireflies feels like it just, you know, it's just a fucking depressing situation. It doesn't have to be forced, you know, just, anyway, but I'll get off on that tangent. There is something, where should I start about John Green? I like him because he engages in what I call, she calls me. What's that? I was thinking of that one, I've been watching these videos, I'm just like going off on tangent. I was thinking about that one, not TikTok person, like YouTuber, throw their cat, like abuse it. This cat abuses me though. Alright, so anyway, goddamn it. John Green, he engages what is like edutainment. There's some graphs on here. I'll show that later, but he includes graphs in here. And this is a fiction book, not non-fiction. And it's pretty interesting. I got it. Makes it like entertaining. I like that. I love learning things. I'm trying to think of one thing I learned. There was a word for like bad breath and a few other words. I wrote down, now they're like escaping my mind, but I keep notes on them so I can pull them up. Star Cat, why do you do this to me while I'm trying to record? But I have a cool setup here. This is my new... Hey, stick your fur in my mouth. Why you do that? Jeez. Oh, Lord. This is a thing. Sorry. I'm trying to do a book report. I'm trying to do a Greg Huffman book report, and you're putting your butthole in my face. You're about to. Okay. Start, please. Sorry, you're sweet. Okay, I love you. Here. Just, yeah, right there. One thing I do think he suffers from in his books, though, is doing a YA audience, young adults. Now, whatever, you know, if that's his audience, that's the one he wants to ride. You know, it's his preference. It's his, what do you call it, prerogative, all that good stuff. So, but for me personally, if I'm just basing off of my preferences, I wish he would maybe consider a more adult audience, at least for some of his works. But I mean, maybe he does good work by bridging young adults into something more educational. So if he's doing good work like that, I guess I can't criticize him for his overall mission. But as far as reading quality, for me, I feel like it suffers because there's a lot of corny shit. Like, I mean, it's hard for me because I write a little bit, and people have criticized me for not writing realistic dialogue because I was influenced by Ayn Rand's Romantic Manifesto. Not like I'm usually an Ayn Rand fan or anything, but it really did change the way I thought about, you know, whether maybe writing, reading, it definitely, you know, I became a part of it made me become a better writer because of it. And it says, you know, the point of a romantic thing, like the romantic movement, isn't just like, it's not about what is natural dialogue all the time. It's about what is the world you want, how do you want to see people communicate. And I was like, that's a good idea, you know, this is how I'd like to see people communicate, not just because it's realistic, but because it's more interesting to me, and that way I don't have to fucking meet these. I mean, you have to be somewhat, you don't want to be completely just off the wall, otherwise it doesn't make sense. You know, it becomes confusing and it's hard to buy. But if you can just kind of, you know, even if the dialogue just seems like this is probably not how people like this communicate, it makes it more interesting. Maybe dialogue, like Tarantino, you know, like most people aren't going to talk like Tarantino characters, but it makes it more fascinating, you know. It's you don't always, like, how people actually communicate can be frequently pretty boring. So anyway, in this book, I'm gonna stand up, sorry, because you will not stop harassing me for this. So in this book, like, he'll say, it's just silly lines that annoy me. Like, a lot of things do feel contrived, but the amount of times, like, some character will say something just like, or like your girl character will be like, perv. Like, they'll just say, you know, perv. I'm like, dude, it just sounds corny. I don't like it. It's the kind of changing of dialogue which I would not want people to communicate like that. I don't know. Let me see if I'm gonna see if I wrote any more examples, because I may have some pulled up in the paragraphs. Let me see. Oh yeah. So one, this isn't. Yeah. So yeah. Like he says in one character, her smile could end wars and cure cancer, and that's the type of hyperbole that I don't like. Like, the dude is a smart dude. He doesn't need to engage in these cliches, like, he needs to understate shit a little bit. Like, if you say she has a smile that could end wars and cure cancer, like, it's like that phrase in Fight Club, where it's like, you make me go a big rubbery one. That's how I feel. Makes me go a big rubbery one reading, like, just hyperbolic shit like that. Like, understate it a little bit, man. Don't make it where it's like painful to read. Like, geez, this is cringe. Let me see if I have some more notes. I'm trying to think. Also, I need to get better about just retaining when I'm. Oh yeah, here's one thing I thought about is, like, in this book, he's dated 19 Catherines. I think it's implied. I haven't finished the book yet. I'm this far in, so I'm towards the end, and there's an epilogue, I think. It has an index and stuff. He's dated 19 Catherines. The dude is still in fucking... Has he graduated high school? He might be in college by now. I can't remember. College age. Oh yeah, I need to talk about... What the fuck? No, it's Colin Singleton. That's his name. And he has this... Anyway, he's dated 19 Catherines. Like, dude, how the fuck... Like, I've not dated that many people. Like, and I'm fucking 30... I'm about to be 36 in 4 days. January 5th. Today is January 11th. I drove through the night through January 10th. But dude, how the fuck do you date 19 people when you're in high school? That's some shit, dude. Like, and they're all named Catherine. How the fuck do you even meet 19 different Catherines? Like, how the fuck do you do that? Even if it's just 18, how the fuck do you do that? Like, whatever. I mean, if that's the story, like I said, if that's the story wants to tell, I guess, but it just doesn't, it's hard to buy that you would meet 19, 18, that many, 10, fucking, it'd be hard to meet like 5 different Catherines. Kathy, these days, almost like such, I can't even think of the last time other than my mom, a Catherine I met. I think I met like one fucking Catherine. If you're a kid, there's no way you meet 19 goddamn different Catherines. There's just no way. It's not gonna happen, okay? Okay, mother... Alright, I don't know, like I said, I won't harp too much on that. Oh yeah, so... One thing I like about it, here's some Pupillary Sphincter. That's one thing he mentions a lot. It's supposed to be like, what does it have to do with like your eye? Like, it's because it opens and closes. I haven't even heard that, and I went to, but I used to take basic medical sciences because I would go for medical coding. A lot of good in my college education did me. I pretty much I'm much of an autodidact, but like, there's shit like fovea, macula, like people have macular degeneration, but I don't think I ever heard pupillary sphincter. And then he has this Muslim kid that is always with him. What's his name? Hassan, maybe? We'll say that. It's Hassan. Hassan Minaj. He says like Sitzpinkler, and he'll be like, alright, hold on, let's go with it. So he says Sitzpinkler, which I wonder if he'd catch controversy for now, which means someone who has to sit while they piss. A Sitzpinkler. It's amusing, I guess. Maybe I'll have to consider taking that on. Thank you, fuck you, bye. God damn, I dropped my glasses. Yeah. But, this is a great view, just stare down the camera. Speaking of that, though, this book, when was it written? It was pre-2014. I view 2014 as where we had the shift, like the SJW shift in our culture. Then eventually we changed SJW, like wokeism, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to get in all that right now. But he seems to be, from what I understand of John Green, SJW light. Because he doesn't give these preachy monologues. But every so often, he has a thing in here where so he encounters in a bench, God hates fag. Does it say God hates? I don't even think it says God hates fags. It says God hates fag, and he changes the fag to read baguette. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, he's not being preachy. He's just trying to change hate, which I think is a better way to deal with those scenes. Or they're like, please don't give me, you know, just this preachy scene about venial. I was gonna say venial bigotry. But it's not really, I guess in that case it's not. It's legit like a type of bigotry. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another thing. He says fag. He uses the word fag, I think, often in his works. And retard, which I don't know if he still does that in his later books. So post 2014, after the Gamergate shit and all that, I don't know if he would still use that kind of slightly edgy, you know. At the time that would be just barely edgy, you know. But the edgelord, you know, the edgelord appeal of like the 2010s and a little bit before that just has died off, you know. Oh yeah, so his friend, yeah, it is Hassan. He'll say, like, whenever the kid, this annoys me about his friend irks the shit out of me a lot of times, because he'll say something interesting, like, I'm fascinated by this shit, and obviously John Green is fascinated by this shit, and so someone will bring up something, like, do you know this about this, and give this little fucking interesting factual tidbit. I'm like, oh, it's kind of interesting, I want to, like, research that, and his friend will be like, not interesting, kafir, which kafir is, like, that means non-believer, or whatever, and was it, makes me think of that Ion Hersey Ali book. Infidel? Yeah, probably. Well, his friend, every time his friend does it, I'm like, fuck this guy, man. Ditch this fat hirsute motherfucker. They even say that he's like fat in hirsute. But he's supposed to be smart, just, so the kid in this is supposed to be, they talk about this show he's on, Cranial Kids or something, where he was a prodigy, but he doesn't feel like he's a genius, like, he's the level, like, right, like, he knows a lot of shit, but he hasn't accomplished a lot. That's kind of how I don't know if I say I don't necessarily feel like a prodigy, because I had to work a lot for my knowledge. My IQ isn't necessarily astounding, but I do take a lot of pride in my knowledge base and my writing style. I wouldn't ever consider myself a genius, or, you know, I mean, it's hard to self-analyze, but yeah, I mean, people like that maybe are stuck in a thing. He's somewhat relatable to me on that extent, you know, to the extent he doesn't say corny young adult shit. I'm sure I did, yeah. But anyway, why am I tongue-tied about all this shit? Let's see what else we got here before I start showing off passages. If there's anything I didn't cover already. There's a theme of this missing piece. So he feels like he has a piece of himself missing. It's related to, I think his dad shows in this book called The Missing Piece. And he doesn't understand, I don't know if it's an autism thing, as it's something, when I think of like The Curious Case of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon, who, you know, there's, I don't know if it's controversy, but people debate whether the kid has autism. He's like, I didn't necessarily think about autism. He might have blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't understand metaphors. And then here it's like his dad's like, see, he's a circle. You're like this circle that has a missing piece. And he goes, I'm not a circle. I'm a human being. He's like, you're a smart kid. You don't understand metaphors or whatever. So there's a little bit of that. And then he talks about he wants to have a eureka moment. Like, what's that one guy? He mentioned specifically the Archimedes screw guy, yeah, Archimedes, obviously. What is that, Archimedes? What's the number for 911? Jesus. He likes to anagram things, so anytime he sees a thing, he anagrams it. I don't anagram, but if I have numbers like something like 743, I'll be like 743, 734, 347, 437, 473, 374. So I kind of like anagram numbers a little bit, so I can understand that. It's a little bit relatable to me. Sweet. I've been considering whether I have a mild form of Tourette's recently. I need to get that checked out because I was like blurt shit out, and I've had at least 2 people ask me if I've had Tourette's. I do have vocal tic though. I clear my throat a lot. So that he wants the McGuffin. I don't know if that's the way to say it for a fucking theorem, but he wants to write this. This is where, you know, I don't really give a lot of books. People are like, "Wow, what's the plot of that?" I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm not reading it for the plot. I mostly read books try to pick up on the writing style, and just I don't read it for like the sum of its parts. I read it for kind of the sum of the actual parts, like sum it up and take interest in a little a la carte. But I usually don't read for the plot. A lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in this book. You know, what's it about? Can't tell you. But the writer's supposed to be talented and it's supposed to be well written. That's all I care about. So anyway, he's writing this theorem on dumping versus dumpy. Very shit I couldn't give a rat's ass about. Like, I got, you know, no skin off my dick for this shit, you know. But yeah, he's right. So he's like, oh, this fucking... He has graphs. I'll probably get to that in a minute, where it's like, X is dumpy, dumper, and so he calls these Catherines, blah, blah. Who gives a fuck? I'm just gonna skip this. I don't give a shit about the goddamn plot in this thing. But yeah, I have mixed feelings about John Green, but overall, I'm enthralled, feels like maybe a strong word to use for his work, but I'm kind of fascinated by his entry. Like, he knows a lot of stuff. Just listening to just Crash Course, you know, it seems to be very influential for YouTube and changed the course of. I remember back in the day, like nowadays, there's fucking Simon Whistler, all kinds of history channel, the history guy. I don't like his delivery though, but anybody who delivers history is cool. Lots of movies, Screen Prism, I think they changed their name, The Take or something. Is that the same one? It don't matter. But anyway, there's lots of channels. I would like more channels on literature though. That's why I'm trying to do this, even though I'm not put in the production values. Back in the day, dude, all you had, I remember asking on fucking GameFAQs, I think it was GameFAQs forums, I was like, are there any, you know, YouTube channels? This is back in like 2014 or so, and people like Crash Course, that's all I can think of. That was all they had back then, so I appreciate him kind of being the prototype for all the educational shit on YouTube, you know. I probably won't go into more depth. So now I guess we're going to get to it's already getting dark down here, if you can see. So I'm going to start focusing right now. I'm outside enjoying the chirping. We're right near a highway. I don't know if it picks up. I don't care. Fuck you guys. This is no production. Alright, but I'm gonna go to the paragraphs now. Alright. Thank you, fuck you, bye. Alright, blinker, you don't miss it. Here's some charts. I'll link right more on that. Yeah, no context for this. There is, but I'm not going to give it. So here's slight dumper, slight dumpy. Just really fascinating stuff if you're really into fucking young kids dating each other and give a shit whether they break up or not. Just exhilarating shit. Alright, here is a relatable phrase on page like 63 or some shit. He's talking about getting a summer job, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, like, reason B. A real job would distract him from his real work, which was becoming ever larger repertoire of knowledge and... Is that all? Yeah, heading market. Oh, yeah. Only rarely comes across, for instance... Oh, my God, I got another cat out. God damn it, comment. You mother sucker. Alright. But, yeah, that's relatable. Alright, here, I had to think about it because, alright, I get it. Later on, he's like, alright, he anagrams it. But this is supposed to be their score in Scrabble. I have to say, I know a lot of sesquipedalians, you know, but I've never been good at Scrabble. It seems to rely too much on very small words and just, like, using the multipliers. And I've just, people always say, oh, you'll always be good at, you must be great at Scrabble. I'm like, no, I hate Scrabble. It's fucking bullshit. So here's his score, and here's the Lindsay score. Here's supposed to be the chick that they're emphasizing his score. Hollis, I think, is like the mother character or something. Hassan, I can't remember. He doesn't play or something. Read the fucking, what's the footnote? I'm not playing, blah, blah, blah. God, if I want to be reminded how dumb, I'll consult my, yeah, alright, fuck you. Thank you, fuck you, bye. I'm gonna keep saying that Jim Cornette line. Alright, actually on the same page, he says, to give you an example, this will sound retarded. Like I said, I already got in a thing about the culture change, but he does say retarded and fag in his writing sometimes. I don't know if he uses I don't think he says in it. See, now he's trying to like talk about some stories, getting to the point. Here's an example of his corny ass fucking writing. You've got to put some of those in it. I think it's about themes or something. You gotta have strong moral, blah blah blah, romance of interest. Story about peeing into a lion cage. Give yourself a girlfriend who notices how gigantic your winky is. And who the fuck says winky? I don't even think kids. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous, like saying on fleek or some shit. Like, Jesus Christ, this is corny as fuck. Last segment by tackling it because she's desperate to save that gorgeous, ginormous winky. Colin Bush. What is this? Look, John Green, come on. I don't, just somebody. What the fuck? Gorgeous, ginormous winky. Who the fuck says this bullshit? Like, look at this look at this. Like, how can you read this and not, like, what the, like, this is a rewrite, goddammit. Rewrite this shit right now. Winky. Fuck you. Alright, dude, I had a weird, this is one of those weird coincidences, because I was just talking to my friend about how I do this. Like, I'll say, look, you see this coded shit? I was actually trying to figure out, but I think it's in like French or something. But it's chronological. Like 16 is, what's the 15th letter? O, P. So P, E, M, is it M? 13? M. I haven't done this in a while. O, M, oh, fucking M, palm. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I used to be able to do this really well. Like, what's 10? J is I. H-I-J, and then E-J. So it's like J, whatever, it's fucking French. But I used to do this myself. I'll go and start getting ready. Alright, I'm signing off. I'll do the Jim Cornette line one more time. It's so much fun. I've been on a kick. Ah, Lord. Wouldn't you know who won the pony? Alright. Alright. Oh, now, goddamn it. Oh, yeah, so I used to do that thing where it'd be like, I'm trying to remember if I can do my name. It's like 7, 18, 5, 7, H is 8, 8, 20, 9, wait, 8, 19, F, 6, 6, 13, 1, 14, whatever, I'm not. But anyway, I used to be able to do that coding thing, so I thought it was cool he included that. You ready? I'm going to do the line one more time. Oh, yeah. This is Greg Huffman's book report. Let's do hoods on for this one. Come on, let's do this shit. This has been Greg Huffman's book report, not Dratsab's. Dratsab reviews are dead. Long live Greg Huffman book report. Oh yeah, I look like a can I say retarded? I look like Thanos. Almost like in this comic book. This is what Thanos like. This has been Greg Huffman's book report. An Abundance of Katherines by, oh great, I'm nasally now. An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. Thank you, fuck you, bye!